Hey there, 21 Day Fixers. You've been watching a few videos throughout our prep week, and this is the one that's going to pull it all together. So, in this video, I'm going to ask you and give you some prompts to help you think about what you're going to measure. Now, I know that in your program guide, you're asked to take your starting weight, your measurements, bust, waist, hips, bicep and thigh, and then take before pictures so you can compare them to your after pictures. And I do support all of that, although there are reasons that you would maybe not do those. And I'm very sensitive to that. I used to have an eating disorder, and so had to step away from the scale and from so much of a focus on the physical for a while, just to get emotionally healthy. So if that's something you feel you need, don't feel like you need to take those pictures and measurements and be weighing yourself. But those are kind of the basics, and they go together, and they each can tell a different story. So, for example, as you are gaining muscle, you're going to be gaining weight because of that muscle. Okay, the same volume of muscle is heavier than an equal volume of fat. So you could be the same size but weigh more if you have more muscle, or you could actually be getting smaller and still your weight might stay even or even a little more because your body is more dense because of the muscle. So don't rely on the scale alone. If you take one thing away from this video, that's what I want you to remember. Taking those measurements is going to give you another way to see that change in your body. But we tend to get fixated as women, especially on numbers getting smaller. So if your biceps are getting bigger, is that going to be is that going to be something that makes you feel bad about yourself? A lot of this is unwrapping those emotions, and that can take time, and it's a process, but to getting to a point where we don't have our self-esteem go in the toilet because of a change in one number, that none of these numbers is a measure of who we are. So but if you feel that even just taking the measurements is going to get your self-esteem in a place where it's just relying on those numbers, then it might be better to not take the measurements. But then the third one, the pictures, is the one that people usually go, oh, I don't want to do that. I mean, nobody likes taking pictures of ourselves in skimpy clothing. It doesn't have to be in skimpy clothing, but if it is, you'll see the differences better. So you might be able to see a difference if you're just wearing, a t-shirt or a tank top and like workout capris that are form-fitting. You can probably still see a difference from day 1 to day 21, but you'll see the difference even more if you're wearing, shorts, so you can see like the muscles on your legs that are going to start popping. And if you're wearing maybe a sports bra instead of a tank top, so you can see your midsection. And these are not going to have to be posted anywhere publicly, so don't worry about that. I understand that it's stressful, and I feel a little stressed out every time I take pictures too, but it is amazing the differences you can see. And if you send them to me, or if you feel comfortable posting them in our private group, you will be amazed at the differences other people see that you don't, because it's your body and you're just used to looking at it. So weight, measurements, pictures, those are kind of the basic 3, but again, nothing is mandatory. But I want you now to think back to your deeper reason why you're doing this, and hopefully you watched that video and you chose a reason and you drilled down to get to your reason. And chances are these 3 metrics, the weight, the measurements, and the pictures, are not related to that deeper reason, because I asked you to choose an emotional reason. It goes beyond the physical appearance of your body. So how can you measure something that's related to to your deeper reason why? I want you to think about that and do a little brainstorming, and then you can post in the comments if you're having trouble coming up with anything that would be related. But just some examples. So if your deeper reason is to get healthier so you can have a long life with your family, well, maybe At the end of the program, you could schedule your annual checkup if you haven't done it recently, or if you're due for, another visit to your doctor, and maybe you could just see what the effect has been of better nutrition and daily exercise on your blood pressure, on your cholesterol, on your blood sugar levels, if maybe you're pre-diabetic. That would be a great way to reward yourself for completing the program, because I am pretty sure you're going to see a difference with this much of a change in your lifestyle. If your goal is to have more energy, that's a tough one to quantify, but that's something that I've really focused on because I suffered from, the afternoon slump and depression that I think was related to my nutrition for a long time. And one thing that I did was keeping a daily energy journal, just like a few words, like one sentence of how I was feeling that day and how it kind of varied throughout the day. Like, was there that afternoon slump? Did I have good energy all day? Did I feel tired all day? And then over time, maybe you can look back and see that you're not having as many low energy days because of the healthy habits that you've created. Or if your goal is to get stronger, now here's one where it's really, really important to write things down. Because again, we're kind of living in our experience and our minds just play tricks on us. So if you say, by the end of the program, you're doing unmodified full intensity moves, you're maybe using slightly heavier weights, but you just might not remember from week to week, or maybe you're using the same weights, but you're doing more reps in a minute. So there is, in the 21 Day Fix resources group, which the new members should have access to, and if you are a repeating participant, and this is a new group I created recently, so if you need access to this file, let me know, I'll just send it to you. But it's a rep sheet for all of the 21 Day Fix sessions, so you can keep track of how many reps you're doing of each move, if you had to modify, and what weight you're using. And again, you're going to be really surprised by how much you improve. And I know it seems like you would notice that, but trust me when I tell you, I've done it both ways, and when I write it down, I notice my progress so much more. So write things down. And especially push-ups is a good one, because they're hard for women. We don't, naturally have as much upper body strength, but we also can see a ton of progress. So maybe you're doing push-ups from your knees, and then if you can do, one knee down, one knee up, or you can go to your toes and do even one push-up before coming back to your knees, go to your toes and do like a half a push-up. Those are ways that you work up to doing the full push-ups from your toes. And if you're starting with one, maybe you get up to, 5 in a row by the end, or you're starting with 5 and you get up to 10. I mean, you will see progress, but you just writing it down helps you to observe it and celebrate it that much more. So I want you to do that. So post in the comments what you will be doing, what you'll be tracking, what are your metrics. The more things you track, the more likely you are going to be able to observe your success. So, the scale can sometimes lie, measurements can take time to change, or like I said, some are going up and some are going down, like there's not, a direction that you want them all to go necessarily. And, pictures, we see progress, but sometimes it can be hard. But my point is the more things you track, the more likely you are to see progress on one of them. And that's what we're really after. 21 days is not that long of a time. You definitely can see some changes, but I want your metrics to be related to your deeper reason why. And I want you to pick a bunch of them and keep track of a lot of things, because absolutely there are going to be changes in how you look and how you feel, but not every single one is going to move, and it's really different for everyone. So I want you to set yourself up for success and for having something really awesome to celebrate at the end, and that means keeping track of a lot of things. So it's just, something, it's a part of the 21 days, and it's an important part. Looking forward to hearing what you're tracking. Talk to you soon.